Sustainability is huge. We need sustainability in our funding source for public education. We need sustainability around our environment. We need sustainability in our relationships, and sustainability is that which keeps us going forward together. I'm Mohr-Almeida, and I'm running for State Senate for Legislative District 25. One of the things that we really need to be thinking about is water in Arizona. We need to be capturing storm water and recharging our aquifers. We need to be planning ahead. We need to have adequate infrastructure in place so that we can have water, 100 years into the future. Air quality is a really big deal for two main reasons, at least in my view. One is that dirty air impacts human health, and 1 in 9 children in Arizona have chronic breathing difficulties, my daughter being one of them. The other part that's a really big deal is the biodiversity. Our atmosphere is incredibly dirty and polluted, and I'm sure most people understand the concept of greenhouse gases. We need to be cleaning that up, and we need to be sequestering carbon. So I propose that we adopt the California tailpipe emission standards so that it will help to clean our air. If we don't clean our air, we're going to be in serious trouble, and the part that really gets to me is the loss of biodiversity. I can't come to terms with the fact that we're looking at losing the polar bear, the orangutan, the Sumatran rhinoceros. It's incredible. We're to a point now where we're going to lose iconic animals because of people dumping carbon into the atmosphere. I think that community is incredibly important, and the way to get to community is through a relationship. I don't think that you can represent a people without having a sincere, honest relationship with them. My entire career has been about public service. Before being a psychotherapist, I was an elementary school teacher. I taught English as a second language. And then I decided that the relationship was more important to me than what I was teaching with the kids. And so I became a psychotherapist. As a psychotherapist, I do essentially the same thing. I help people with problems and challenges to help them to be better at communicating and relationships and those sorts of things, ideally so that they can become contributors to society. The first thing that comes to mind when I think about human rights is bodily autonomy. I believe that the right to abortion must be protected. A woman should be able to decide if and when she becomes a parent. I also believe that human rights encompass things like safety at school, or being able to be supported in your primary language at school, or being able to return from incarceration and being able to be a contributing member of the community again after you've paid your debt to society. These are the sorts of things I think of when I think of human rights. Kids being taken at the border, 50 a day, it's nauseating. It's something that is really, really difficult for me to think about, because I can't imagine what it's got to feel like to have your child yanked from you. I can't imagine what that's got to feel like for that child. I can't imagine what that's got to feel like for that mother. I don't want to imagine it. Community justice means to me that we're all treated the same under the law. It means that there's no privilege related to being not a person of color. I think that we should all be equal under the law and be treated equally. I think part of the picture is de-escalation training for the police force in Mesa, rather than the horrific events that we all were exposed to via the media. As a teacher, I care deeply about education, because that's what's going to help our children get ahead in life. If you don't have a good education, you don't have the foundation for success as an adult. People should vote for me because I sincerely care about what's going on in our community. I'm not in this, just like being a psychotherapist or being an educator, I'm not in this for the money, I'm not in this for personal gain. I'm in this to be of service to my community. My personal issues are, of course, clean air, but what is important to my constituents is important to me. And that's, I think, novel in LD 25.